And we are live. Welcome back with Murphy Mac to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we help you get started on your fitness journey. What is up, everybody? Hope y'all having a great week so far. If you're listening to this in the car, put your seatbelt on, be safe. 10 and 2. Y'all already know what the deal is. But yeah, it is, yeah, I don't know what I was about to say. I'm gonna say it's the beginning of a new week. So we're going to start the new week off. We're going to get it going right. We're going to, stack our habits. And that's kind of what today's podcast topic is about today. And it is a rule that I live by, and I'm going to share it with y'all because I think it's a great rule, and I think that you can live by it too. And it's simple. It's very simple. It's easy to implement. It's easy to stick to. And it's just a good all-around rule. And it applies not only in your fitness journey, in your health, it applies in your everyday life and everything that you do. So I think you should start using it and applying it to everything you do. So what is this rule? This rule is known as the 2-day rule. The 2-day rule. It's pretty simple. So the rule is it's okay to miss one day, but it's never okay to miss 2 days in a row. That's it. Pretty plain and simple. So it don't matter if you're lifting weights. Okay, sorry, my stream messed up. Yeah. So it don't matter if you're lifting weights, if you're going for a run, if you're eating clean, if you're meditating, journaling, doing your morning routine, if you're building a business. This same rule applies for all of that. So we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about why it works and how you can start using it today. So what is the 2-day rule? It's the idea that skipping one day of your habit, of your routine, of your discipline, whatever it is, that's okay. That's human. That's life. I mean, it's just going to happen. But if you skip 2 days in a row, it starts to become a habit. It starts to get you going in the wrong direction, which is what we don't want. So one missed day, that's just a break. That's okay. But 2 missed days, that's the beginning of a new pattern, and that's not what we want to do. So why it works? Why does the 2-day rule work? Well, the rule works because it keeps your momentum alive. Momentum is a real thing, and I feed off of momentum. I use it, and I think it's good to use in your life as well. So if you've been on your fitness journey for a while, you know that momentum is kind of a thing. Once you get going, it gets easier to stick to. It gets easier to do. It gets easier to implement. So consistency is going to beat your perfection every time, always. So you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be. You just have to keep showing up. You just have to keep being consistent. And that's where the 2-day rule comes into play. That's where it gives you the flexibility to breathe a little bit, without losing your edge. Because if you miss a day, that's okay. You're going to get right back into it the next day. So how does this rule apply to your fitness journey? Let's say you miss a workout. If you're tired one day, you had a long day, your kid is sick, whatever it is, whatever life throws at you, that's okay. You just take the day off. That's cool. That's fine. Nobody hurt. But the next day, you show up, period. Even if you're tired again. Even if it's just going for a walk, doing some yoga, working out at the house. Whatever you can do, you show up, you get it done. No excuses, point blank, period. So this rule is going to help you. It's going to help you avoid that all or nothing mindset, which is what we want to stay away from. It's not all in or all out. You're not going to be perfect. So you can give and take a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to work out every single day or not work out at all. You can work out every other day. That's cool. If you miss a day, it's okay. Go the next day. The rule helps you stay mentally connected to your goals because you're thinking about them at least every other day. You're not missing 2 days in a row. And the rule is going to help you reduce guilt, reduce shame, which those two things kind of often, they lead to people giving up. They lead to people quitting entirely, which is what we don't want. So it keeps your identity intact, because even if your action is small, you're still acting like the person you want to become, if that makes sense. So if if you got to work out the next day, if you miss one day and the next day, all you can do is say, hey, all I can do is work out for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. That's a pretty small action. Well, at least you're acting like the person that you want to become. At least you're trying. You're still doing it, you're showing up, you're sticking to it regardless. You're getting it done. You're putting in the time, putting in the effort, and you're creating momentum. You're not missing 2 days in a row. So where does this rule come into play beyond fitness, like in your regular life? Really, it comes into play with everything you do. If you miss one day of journaling, one day of meditating, one day of doing your morning routine, you can do it the next day. Get up and do it the next day. No big problem. What if you skip a day of eating clean? It's the weekend. You want to enjoy yourself. That's fine. Get back to it tomorrow. That's cool. What if you slack off in your business, in your career, or a project you're working on? That's no biggie. Just don't make it 2 days in a row. Don't do it twice in a row. You gotta stick to it. This rule kind of keeps you flexible, keeps your routines flexible, and it keeps your standards high at the same time without getting you off course. So the rule kind of helps you stay on that course, stay on that momentum you built up instead of making it like perfection. It gives you that kind of course correction to keep you on track. Because if you miss one day, you may get off track, but then the next day you get right back on because you're not allowed to miss it again. It's not an option. So some related principles that may help you. So some bonus tips that pair really well with this 2-day rule is, one, you can plan your minimums. So know what a bare minimum for you is, what for each of your habits. So for fitness, maybe your bare minimum is going for a 15-minute walk, or your bare minimum is doing 10 push-ups that day. That way you always have something that's doable. You always have something that you can do. You want a bare minimum that you have to do to be, satisfied. Go ahead and set that for yourself now. So like if you say you miss a day and the next day you're busy, well, at least you know what your bare minimum is to say that you did it, to mark it off. So that may be going for a walk, maybe doing push-ups or sit-ups or something, have a bare minimum. Number 2, track it visibly. So like use a calendar, use a habit tracker. Go ahead and put your big red X on your calendar on the days that you worked out. And then when you miss a day, that's okay, but you don't want to have 2 blank spaces in a row. You don't want to see two spaces with no red X. It's a good visual reminder. It's a good visual thing so that you can see on your calendar. Number 3, stack a habit with something enjoyable. So for me, I like to listen to podcasts. If I'm, walking, working out, whatever I'm doing, I like to listen to a podcast. So save your favorite podcast for when you're going to walk or work out or stretch, whatever you're doing. And then find a way to make the process enjoyable so you're less likely to skip it. Because if you're doing something that you don't enjoy, you don't like, it's going to be much easier for you to skip it, for you to not do it. So try to pair it up with something that you enjoy doing. Maybe you can turn on some Netflix or something in the living room while you're working out. I don't know. Find some way to do it. Or maybe it's doing it with your family. Work out with your family. Y'all can do it together. It could be a family activity, and that can make it more enjoyable. So try to pair that habit with something else that you enjoy doing. And then number 4, have a reset routine. So if you do miss 2 or more days, don't beat yourself up about it, but just kind of build in a way to help reset your mind. Maybe that's reviewing your goals. Maybe that, like on a Sunday or something, sit down, review your goals, and plan out your week. This can be a way you can kind of bounce back, from missing those days and getting you off track. It can kind of get you back in routine. Plan out your workout for Monday, the next day. Get yourself on the right note. Get yourself kind of going in the right direction. Try to build up that momentum again, starting off the right way. So the 2-day rule, it's more than just a fitness hack. It's kind of a lifestyle hack. It's kind of a principle that you can live by for everything that you do. So it gives you a little bit of grace. It gives you a little bit more discipline with whatever you're doing, because that way you don't have an option but to do it the next day. If you miss one day, you don't have an option but to get back to it the next day. So one missed day is not going to derail your progress, but 2 days in a row, you're kind of pushing it. You're tiptoeing in the danger zone a little bit, and you're pushing it. So don't miss 2 days in a row. I like this rule because it takes the pressure off. If it's okay to miss one day. It takes that pressure off. You don't need to be perfect. You just can't disappear. You can't quit. You can't miss it 2 days in a row. So whether you're building muscle, whether you're working on your mindset, whether you're building a meaningful life. Consistency is going to be your secret weapon, period, point blank, period. And that's how the 2-day rule can help you, protect that discipline, that consistency, one day at a time. That's why I like this rule. It works for every situation. So that's kind of a rule and a philosophy that I live by, and I think you can apply it in your life as well. It's a great little reminder. So if you didn't work out one day, that's okay. No problem. Do it the next day. Show up the next day. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just got to do it, get it done, get it over with. It's not going to be that hard. You just get in there and get it done. And you're going to be proud that you did it. You're going to be happy that you did it at the end of the day. And it's going to get you right back on track, right back on your goals, whatever that is, whatever you set out to do. And you're going to be happy that you didn't miss that second day in a row. So thank y'all so much for listening today. If this podcast encouraged you, share it with a friend that you know may or may not be struggling with staying consistent. Don't forget to, remind them that it's okay to miss one day, but it's not okay to miss 2 days. So if you hadn't yet, go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a week of the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we talk about, fitness, motivation, mindset, discipline, a little bit of everything to get you started on your fitness journey. But other than that, y'all have a great week. And always remember, it's okay to miss one day. Just don't miss 2. Peace, love, protein. We out.